Om Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Gurudeva. Section 2. So if you see, the Kena Upanishad is broken into 4 sections, 4 khanda. So the first khanda we saw where the Sishya asks a simple question. Who is it that is operating behind all of this that I perceive, hear, listen, see, touch, taste, my think, experience, emotions, everything? Breathe, the process of the process of prana circulation, everything that happens within me. Who is it that is responsible for all this? And then the Guru explains. Guru explains in the most cryptic language. Reason being, it is to also show, the Upanishad is also showing that the truth cannot be spoken about that way. Yadvachana nivartante tadhama paramam mama. Where the speech does not go, that is my place, that is my abode. Tadhama paramam mama. My abode is where speech cannot reach, the eyes cannot go, the ears cannot come. Which means we have to recognize that we are constrained and we are restricted and we are limited by the sense organs. See, one of the biggest things that is in the path of spiritual understanding or spiritual pursuit is to first understand our own limitations. Not in a depressing way, in a very profound, in a profound sense of understanding, so that a little bit of portal, a little bit of opening comes up. Because only when there is a sincere, deep, sincere recognition that I do not know, then the possibility of knowing something arises. So for the possibility to arise, I should sincerely recognize that I am limited. And we start with whatever Bhagavan, Guru, whatever we know of in front of us that we have access to. We open up our hearts to that. And it says, Kadavale, எனக்கு தெரியல, எனக்கு புரியல, or I know I am limited. I know I am limited. I'm even intellectually limited. And also, I know I'm limited because the sense perceptions can only perceive so much. Even amongst us, how is that some people are able to see something and experience something and others are not able to? Even amongst us people, a lot of times, even when you see your wife is able to sit down in dhyana and completely sit in absorbed meditation, and the husband will be wondering, எப்படி அவளுக்கு முடியறது அப்படி? How is it that happen? Your own wife sitting beside you, you've spent 15, 20, 30 years, 40 years. So when the perception opens, each individual, it is very different. So you recognize that I am limited. Doesn't mean that the person who is meditating everything is opened up for them. But they have a different perception. Something different is opened up. For me, something else is opening up. But we are limited. I'll be sitting in the same room, the same atmosphere, the same environment, everything the same, but still my experience is very different because my perception is very different. The way I perceive, the way I understand, the way I receive things, the way I pay attention to, right? Somebody is sitting down and the door is half closed, it will bother them. I've seen people, கதவு either ஃபுல்லா சாத்துங்க இல்ல ஃபுல்லா ஓபன் பண்ணுங்க அப்படின்னு. For some people, oh, அப்படியே, I didn't even notice. I didn't even notice that there was a door and it was half open. These are tendencies that drive you to pay attention to something automatically. And then because of our regular repeated patterns, we tend to pay attention to that. If there's a lamp that is lit and if it is flickering in the fan, mind will start thinking, ayyo, if it flickers too much, what if it falls on the cloth? What if the cloth catches fire? இப்படிலாம் imagination போக ஆரம்பிச்சிடும். அங்க you're sitting there to do dhyana. The whole mind will start developing that way. They will call somebody, oh, fan, please fan off பண்ணுங்க. அப்பாடி then. அதுக்கப்புறம் வேர்க்க ஆரம்பிச்சிடும். You'll start sweating. And they'll mind like, oh, should I put air conditioning? Oh, should I then keep the direction of the lamp that side? இப்படிலாம் போயிடுது. Your time is gone. Because we are set up in some patterns. And suddenly our attention will go to things, whether you like it or not, based on our predispositions. The way we were brought up, the way we have seen, the way experiences have accumulated upon us. So when it is like this, how do you approach something that is so abstract? First, you have to recognize that I am limited. I recognize I am limited. And then slowly the most abstract responses also, don't worry about the response, abstractness of the response. It is important to recognize that there is a possibility. See, the guru is not sitting there to, there's something that we need to very, very clearly understand. The guru is not sitting there to give you something that will suddenly enlighten me. The guru is there to show that there is a possibility. Ramana, when he was sitting as the Mauna Swami, so many people got attracted to him. He didn't speak a word. For many years, he didn't speak a word. His speaking started much later. And that too, he spoke very little. But most people, without his speaking, have had the profound experience in his presence. What has happened? They see a possibility. So somebody who's got a skin, face, hands, nose, mouth like me is able to be in this state. So when you look at a possibility, you feel inspired. That inspiration is what the guru gives. The guru shows a possibility. Work is ours only. Work has to be ours. Effort has to be ours. We have to put the effort. But when the recognition of limitation is there, then the guru shows a possibility, whether in an abstract form or the real form or in the form of Narayana, in the form of Venkateshwara, in the form of Parashakti, whatever form, or talks about Brahman in the most abstract form, it is about a possibility. And that possibility is what? Is that this that is here can have a relationship. It can have some kind of a relationship with that. And now what that relationship is, something that will develop for each one individually, separately, differently, right? But then the important thing is there is a possibility of a relationship. We don't separate it out entirely to say that that is elsewhere, something elsewhere, and I invoke only when there is a need. For that, you don't need a guru. You don't need a guru to go and do a 1008 Vadamale to Hanuman, pray to him, and then distribute the Vadai and come and have that Vadai for 1 week. And then you hope that what you've prayed happens. For that, you don't need a guru. These are things you can do. You will see around people that are traditionally everybody does this, you also do. It will not essentially, you don't need a guru to do all of this for you. What you need is somebody. When do we need a guru? Somebody who can point you to that possibility within you. It opens up a possibility within you. So that is what this guru is also doing. The guru is telling that, listen, I am talking in the abstract, most abstract language, because this cannot be spoken of. This cannot be spoken of in a direct language. You cannot touch it. You can't feel it. You can't see it. You have to experience it within you. Like saying simple example, you can how much ever explain about how a mango, sweet mango tastes, unless you have the taste of it, you cannot. Talagadu ninnalum, you cannot explain to that person. Right? So this kind of an approach, he is now taking it further. So in the first chapter, sorry, in the first khanda, he talks about how do I, the most difficult of the concepts, how do I explain it to you? And he's trying to do his best. But then subsequently, now then the guru is also warning the Sishya. So he goes on to the second khanda. Yadi manyase suvedeti daharam evapi nunam tvam vetha brahmano rupam. So he says, after I've explained all of this, so like for example, if you go to the last verse of the previous chapter, yat pranena praniti yena pranah praniyate tadeva brahmatvam vidhi nedam nadidum yadidum upasate. It is this Brahman that is making this prana, this eyes, all of this operate. Know that it is through Brahman, not that which you are worshipping here. You give some name, some form, some this thing, that thing you're worshipping. You think, oh, this will give you, it'll give me that grace, it'll give me this, that. That is not going to help you. Understand that this is that supreme consciousness that is enabling all of this. Then the guru also smartly immediately starts with the second khanda, says that now after I've explained all of this, if you think you know it very well, if you think you've understood it very well, then you have not. School when the kids are sitting, and then there are two kinds of. So one is a child will shake the head for everything that is said. So எல்லாம் புரிஞ்ச மாதிரி தலையாட்டுறது ஒன்று இருக்கு. இன்னொன்று வந்து அப்படியே இருக்கும் ஒரு குழந்தை. So now that you'll never know that if that child has understood, is absorbing, or ஒண்ணுமே புரியல. Right? When you've not understood anything also, you'll sit quietly and just keep watching. இது எப்போ முடிய போறது அப்படின்னு. When is this going to come to an end? Okay. Because there is a threshold till which something enters into your head. After that, it is just zoop, it will just keep going. If it keeps going, you will also be fine to say that, okay, let it get to an end. Because it's just going beyond me. And after a few sessions, you'll say, இதெல்லாம் எனக்கு சரிப்பட்டு வரல. So you'll just give a blank look. And நல்ல கொட்டாய் வரும். We'll try to control the yawning. All of that will happen. Because after a certain point, it's just words falling into your ears. There's no meaning that is passing through you. Because the mind can only absorb so much, and it is not in your experience. You see that, oh, he's saying something very profound. Super சொல்றாருப்பா. ஆனா இந்த வடிவேலுக்கு ஒரு பலார்னு அரைஞ்சிட்டு he'll say கொயின்னு சத்தம் வருது அப்படிம்பா. He'll say, I know you're saying something, but I don't know what you're saying, because all I'm hearing is going sound. So like that, after a certain point, something very profound is being said. Something is being said. And then there are people who actually feel that, yes, I've understood. Yeah, got it. Super, correct. Only then they'll look at the neighbor and say, see. அப்படிலாம் சொல்லி இதெல்லாம் பண்ணுவா. அந்த முத்திரையெல்லாம் காமிப்பா. So just to show that, they have, in fact, they will act as though the guru is, that the teacher is telling what they already know. அந்த ஒரு ஃபீலிங்லாம் கொடுப்பா. Because see, this is a knowledge that can very easily trap you into thinking that you actually understood it. Experientially, you may not have gotten it, but it'll feel intellectually, ah, yes, I got it. But the problem is, that is where the problem comes, is that this is when it's in the beginning stages of understanding and beginning stages of exploration of this particular consciousness that is within me, always there with me at all times. I'm sitting, eating, sleeping, dreaming, whatever I'm doing, this I is always there, always present. This sense of I, which is in the background of all my experiences, it is in the background of all my experiences. It is not my experience. It is not my thought. It is not my desire. It is not my ambition. It is not my anxiety. It is not my imagination. It is not my memory, but it is in the background of everything. This is in the background of everything that has not become my experiential reality. Some extent, it is in the realm of intellectual acknowledgement through logic. Vedanta uses logic to drive. It uses logic to drive this recognition. But it comes to an intellectual recognition, not experiential. If we were to come to an experiential recognition, then nobody needs to tell you that you're realized. And you will never tell anybody that you're realized. You'll never say that, yes, I've understood it very well. You'll never say that. There's a beautiful story of Yajnavalkya, Rishi, the main Rishi of Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Janaka is conducting, Janaka regularly conducts Vidvat Sabha, right? In one of the congregations, he is announcing that I will give away 1,000 cows with coins, gold coins on both their horns. So each cow has two horns, cow and bull, and then I'll put gold coins, and then 1,000 such cows will be given away to one who can prove that he is a Brahmagyani. One who is a Brahmagyani, I will give away this kind of a reward to such a person. So, Periya Sabha, all great scholars and many people have been invited, and Yajnavalkya Rishi is also there with a few of his disciples. Then there is silence because a lot of scholars, they think they know, but they are also worried. யாராவது ரெண்டு கேள்வி கேட்டானா அதுல பிரச்சனை ஆயிடுமே, மானம் போயிடுமேன்னு சொல்லி they are silent. And then suddenly a hand comes up and says, Yajnavalkya Rishi raises his hand. And he gets up and he tells his Shishya, boys, come here. Please take the cows home. So there's complete uproar in the assembly. Audacity, this guy. And then Janaka is also watching this. He's saying, Rishivar, are you claiming that you are self-realized? Then Yajnavalkya says, oh, Raja, my 1,000 salutations to the one who is self-realized. I need the cows for my home. I am taking the cows because I need cows for my home. So this story is to show the confidence and also the humility. He is not standing up and saying that, yes, I am self-realized. Let anybody come and challenge me. He is not saying that. At the same time, he is not quiet about it also. He's saying, I have a practical need. I need cows to run my hermitage. I have a lot of students and I'm maintaining many people. So I need cows to maintain my hermitage. So hence I'm taking them. So this example is to show this is how a Brahmagyani will behave. He'll never stand up to claim that, yes, I have known Brahman. In that context, right? So he says, if you think, or Guru says, Yadi manyase suveda iti. Suvedana, I know it very well. If you think I know it very well, then it means you only have understood it very little. Noonam tvam vetha brahmano rupam. What is this Brahman? You have understood it very little. Noonam. And then yadasya tvam ved yadasya deveshwatha. Deveshwatha nu mimamsyameva te manye viditam. Which means you have to, whether you've seen, you think you have experienced Brahman here in this world, in this body, or in the Devatas, you've understood it very little. Mimamsyam eva, you have to deliberate upon this even more. Sit down with it. You have to meditate upon this further. Innu deep dive panna. Innu sadhana panna. If you think you have known it very well. Then the Sishya says, Manye viditam. Then, but I think I know it. I may not know it very well. I know it. So takkuna tone kami panega. The disciple immediately, oh. Because after listening to all this, maybe the disciple is mandayating a lot. And then the Guru says, if you think you know it very well, be careful, be watchful. You have to think, you have to meditate upon it. And then the Shishya says, "Nee, maybe I know. After you've explained so much, I probably do know what is Brahman." Then he goes to say, Naham manye suveda iti. I do not think I know it well, but it is not that I do not know it. Nona vedeti vedacha. Yo nastad veda tat veda nona vedeti vedacha. So he says, whoever knows it amongst us can only know it that way, O Gurudev. They can only know it that way, that they don't know it very well, but at the same time, you can't say that they don't know it. So how do I now communicate this idea? I, I have to say I know it, but I can't say I know it well. Because when you say, the moment you say know it well, it is like becomes like an object. And we are saying Brahman is not an object. Brahman is the subject itself. The thing which knows is Brahman. Or the thing which knows consciousness within you is the one that is even speaking these words. The one speaking the words, the one speaking the words is the one that is saying that I know. So how can I, it is not like looking at something and say, oh, I know this very well. I know this phone very well. I know this laptop very well. I know this fan very well. It is not like that. That is why a lot of times it is said, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, if you recall, in one of the photos, I don't know if you have seen this photograph of his, he's standing in a bhava samadhi. So what happens to him is he is singing. There is satsang happening in his house, kirtan happening. He's singing and he suddenly goes like that into bhava samadhi. And when after that somebody asks him, what happened? What is it? What did you experience? His throat chokes. he is not able to say. Not out of emotional choking. It is not emotional choking. அப்படி இல்லை. That is not. It is choke. It is physical choking because you just don't have the words to express it. See, a lot of times we also have experienced this. When your experience is so intense, you just feel like going silent. நான் யாருக்கிட்ட சொல்லி யாருக்கு என்ன புரிய போறது அப்படின்னு ஒரு ஃபீலிங் வரும். What am I? Let them figure it out, right? Let them figure it out. They will probably get it a lot of times, which is why masters and gurus and all, if people talk make judgments about them, sometimes they don't care. Like Jiddu Krishnamurti, somebody asked him, Krishna ji, what is your secret? How is it you are able to be like this this being that is going so beautifully through life and spreading like this? He says, that is because I never mind whatever happens. He says, I never mind whatever happens. Enna nadandalum, I don't mind. This is an important state to be. To say that doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. பரவாயில்ல. என்ன நடந்தாலும் பரவாயில்ல. I do things to make some things happen, but என்ன நடக்கிறதோ அது பரவாயில்ல. Only when we are able to be like that, என்ன நடந்தாலும் பரவாயில்லை, என்ன நடந்தாலும் I'm okay, then there is a possibility of being in that silence. Masters and acharyas and gurus, they don't keep talking all the time. People make different judgments about them. They will be silent because they know that the more you throw words out in trying to defend, no, I understand, you don't see what I see, இப்படி எல்லாம் பேசிட்டு இருந்தோம்னு வச்சுக்கோங்க. See, if we have really had an experience and then you're trying to tell people, oh, you don't understand what I'm seeing, what I'm experiencing, this is Advaita, this is this thing, that is Vishishta Advaita, this is Bhagavan is like this, Brahman is like this experience that I'm having of witness consciousness, all of this we'll speak. It becomes what is called as pedestrian. Pedestrian, there's a word in Tamil, கொச்சப்படுத்துறதுன்னு சொல்லுவா. கொச்சப்படுத்துற மாதிரி ஆயிடும். It becomes very pedestrian, becomes very you're making it. My Gurudev Paramahamsa Yogananda will say, do not throw pearls in front of swines. அப்படிம்பார். Very bold statement. தமிழ்ல சொல்லணும்னா பன்னிக்கு நேரா பவழத்தை தூக்கி போடாதுன்னு சொல்ற மாதிரி அது. பவழம், right? Pearls are பவழம் or something. So precious jewels. Don't throw pearls in front of swines. Pearls means pearls of wisdom, pearls of words that you're also giving away. Be careful and watchful and cautious about who are you giving it to. Who are you trying to prove yourself in front of? And when somebody recognizes, somebody truly knows that they're Brahman and that self-recognition is there, do you think they will care? They don't care about anything. They don't care about going and proving to the world, I am Brahman, I am Brahman. Right? That is the most absurdest of things. See, what Krishna said was in private. When Krishna said the things that he said that in private. இப்போ பப்ளிக் ஆயிடுது. But whatever he said, whether it been Bhagavad Gita, whether it Uddhava Gita, whether it was any conversations with Yudhishthira, any conversations with any of the people, it was in private. It was one to one. It was a conversation where he saw different ways of trying to get this message across to those individuals. Uddhavarga, he did not give a Vishwarupa Darshanam, but to Arjuna, he had to give a Vishwarupa Darshanam. Uddhava was a much advanced devotee, seeker, sadhaka. Arjuna, he had to give a Vishwarupa Darshanam. So nobody goes around proclaiming that their Brahmanhood or their realized state of being. In fact, the more they are in that state, they won't care about proving themselves at all. There will only be compassion rising in their hearts to go and share this. They will only want to share it. Vivekananda went around the world to so many different places to share this knowledge. Ramana tried to do this in the same place. Ramana could have stayed in the forest, unknown to anybody. He went around. Shivananda Swami distributed in form of books. Jiddu Krishnamurti did it in the form of talks. Whatever they touched, they shared. Not because they want to show that they know. It is out of compassion, mere compassion. And that is why they don't care so much about judgments by people. Because all they carry is compassion in their hearts. They see people are suffering and they think that I can share, and then maybe the suffering will be alleviated. Some suffering will go. This is their intention. Not that they want to show that, yes, I have attained and I have achieved. So the disciple continues to say that Naham manye suveda iti nona vedati vedacha. He's using paradoxical language, but he says that I don't know it well, but I can't say that I don't know it also. And whoever knows of it can only speak of it in this language, O Gurudev. That I know it, yet I don't know it. Because I know it as an intrinsic experience, but I don't know it as an object. This is the difference. I don't know it, I don't know it as an object because it's not an object. See, that is why I always recommend that whenever you're doing any form of prayer or dhyana or any form of sadhana that we do, we must sit in silence. Only when you recognize or when you experience silence inside, can any of this can be understood. இதெல்லாம் புரிஞ்சுக்கிறதுக்கு there must be that தன்மை ஒரு 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 that inner silence, you must touch it. Otherwise these things will again be like words, right? If you just get a கௌசல்யா சுப்ரஜானாம க்ஷீரோதன்ன பிரதேசம் பண்ணிட்டு இப்படி பண்ணிட்டு அப்படி பண்ணி இந்த அர்ச்சனை போட்டு அந்த போட்டு வழக்கேற்றி பாலை காமிச்சு நைவேத்தியம் பண்ணி கிடுகிடுன்னு முடிச்சுட்டு அப்புறம் தரையை சாத்திட்டு அப்பாடி மார்னிங் ப்ரேயர்ஸ் முடிஞ்சதுப்பா. Now I can relax for the rest of the day. TV on பண்ணி 10 மணி சீரியல் போட்டு. If this is our life, then it's going to be very, very difficult to understand these things. It will not enter at all. We have to practice some amount of time sitting in silence. Only then you will know what it means to have a beautiful experience yet not talk about it. Only when you experience this, when I'm having a very, very beautiful experience and I don't talk about it, you will know what is being said here. That is the state of a Brahmagyani, that he is having this continuous flow of joy and this nectar that is flowing continuously. But only talks about it, எங்க போனாலும் பேசிட்டு இருக்க மாட்டார்ல. They'll come, they'll sit in a satsang, they'll talk about it. Matabadi, when they get up, they go to the shop. If they have to buy something, they'll go. They will not talk to the kadakaran that you are Brahman, I am Brahman. Why are you charging me? They'll not talk like that nonsense, right? They'll say, okay, 5 rupees, I'll pay you 5 rupees. They will know this difference of transactional world and this inner joy, and they'll not mix it. That is why a lot of times they appear very normal yet extraordinary. There is something different about them, some fragrance, some that presence is something different அப்படிங்கிறது we recognize because they're able, transactionally they're very, very normal, very common, right? They'll go to the same this thing, maybe they'll go to the same places that you go, the same they'll go to the temple, they'll go to when they go to the outside, they go to the shop, they go to a mall, they go to the toilets, everything it will be similar, but yet the inner space is they're reveling in a very, very different space. If you want to touch that, then we must try to practice that. Only way to practice is we have to put that effort to say that, yes, I am going to sit down for 5 minutes today. Resolution, make a resolution. Sankalpa. Don't tell that 5 minutes of silence you don't get. அவ்வளோ கஷ்டமா இருக்குன்னா டாய்லெட்ல உட்கார்றச்சே கண்ணை மூடின்னு இருங்க. If it is so difficult, you have to find that time. 5 minutes, you will get that time. Or when you get up from the bed, just 5 minutes of silence. Chant whatever mantra, shloka that you comes to your mind that feels you want to chant in the morning. 5 minutes of silence. Because we don't realize that we are dissipating energy all the time. Any experience we have, we want to either tell it, or we want to blurt it out, or we want to show it, or we want to express it. We don't want to be silent about it. Silence comes through practice. And when we touch that silence, then we know that, just exaggerate that to somebody who's having a profound experience all the time. They'll not feel like speaking. You'll have to invite them to speak. You'll have to invite them. You'll have to say, please, vandu sollungo. And then because somebody is asking, they'll speak. So the Sishya is recognizing this. The Sishya is saying that there is no other way. Right? This is the only way to say that I know it, but I don't know it. And then the Guru goes on. He says, Yasya matam tasya matam matam yasya na vedasaha avijñatam vijanatam vijñatam abhijanatam. He understands it who feels he knows it not, and he understands it not who feels he knows it. It is unknown to the master scholar, but known to the one who admits he does not know. He says he understands it who feels he knows it not. Somebody who knows, see, here's the thing. One is when you go into the silence, you recognize this joy, this presence within, but at the same time, you also recognize your limitation. See, the one who is known is a Brahmagyani doesn't think that he has known everything. He has known that he doesn't know. This is a very subtle point that we need to understand. Semmangudi Srinivasa Iyer is a doyen of Carnatic music. At the age of, started to become very popular after 60. Initial years, he struggled a lot. Towards 70, 80, I think he lived till about 90 years of age. Right? He lived pretty old, ripe old age. And towards the ending of his years, he was considered as the Samangudi Bani, which means There's a whole lineage of singing and method of singing that comes after him. He's created something like that. But if you there are interviews, you go talk to the person, he will not talk as though he knows it all. Or somebody who looks at, he is like the ocean of Karnataka Sangeetam, right? அவருக்கு தெரியாதது இருக்குமா? But then when you closely go to him and talk to him, ஐயோ எனக்கு தெரிஞ்சது இவ்வளவுதான்ப்பா அப்படிம்பார். தெரிஞ்சது நான் அடுத்து திரும்ப சொல்லிட்டு இருக்கேன். I'm just singing whatever I know. This is what happens to somebody who really knows it, knows that he doesn't know it all. Now the question is, who is saying that they know it and who is saying that I don't know it? So somebody who's watching from the outside says, oh, this person knows so much. But for the person themselves, having known so much, they know that, oh my God, it's not possible for me to know it all. That is the recognition that makes them complete. Not Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate is not to say that I know it all. It is to know that I cannot know it all. And you rest in it. You're not disturbed or restless in it. I can't know it. என்ன பண்றது? இன்னும் 4 book படிக்கட்டுமா? இன்னும் 4 can I go to 4 more upanyasams? Can I go to this yatra, this kshetram, that thing? Will I know it? Will I know it? Till that is there, you have not known what it is actually. The actual knowing is when you know that I cannot know it all. There is not a possibility I can know it all. But then there is no restlessness with it. You are completely resolved in that understanding that I cannot know it all, Bhagavan, because it's unsurpassable, it is insurmountable. It is impossible for this body-mind complex to know it all. But yet, I feel complete in that knowledge. Feeling rested, feeling complete in that knowledge to say that I cannot know it all. But at the same time, when there is a need that arises, you have that clarity of vision. You can see things with clarity, which means you know it. You know that this is temporary. You know that life will pass on. You know things will not stay the way it is. You know attachment is going to cause suffering. You know these things. You know the truths of life. You know attachment is suffering. You're never lonely. You're always taken care of. Right? All of these things you know, but then you also surrender. So the point when we say that there is no way that I can know it all is the sense of surrender. When that happens, then you know that. And for whom are we talking, knowing and not knowing? From somebody who's looking at this person is saying that, oh, he knows this, oh, he doesn't know this, and then there's argument and all that. But that for that person, he's rested, which is why always one most important thing in somebody that will be seen from the outside, somebody who's content and rested, is a sense of peace, a sense of calm, a sense of completeness. Or atrupti, in their presence, you will not feel atrupti. You will not feel that this person is restless, trying, wanting, doing this thing, that thing. They may be engaged in a million things, but then you'll still see that that activity is not caused out of restlessness. The activity is not because, oh, will the next activity give me joy? Will the next activity give me satisfaction? Will the next this thing give me some kind of completion? It is not coming from that. Activity needs to be done, will be done. But then there is a sense of completion always, irrespective of the condition. Never mind whatever happens. You will be able to see that in this person. And that is what the Guru is also saying. If you say that he understands it verbally, so you can't have a conversation around this. That is the idea. We have to become, see, um, one of the things that has happened to human beings as a perceptive organism or an entity is our ability to perceive has dropped significantly over the generations and years. Our ability to perceive something, when somebody, there were times when the Raja was there and the Mantri or somebody is there, the Raja moves like this, the Mantri will know what he is trying to say. Perceptive. He'll know that, oh, this is what he's trying to indicate, this is what he's trying to say. His movement, his action, his eyebrows, the way he moves, that quick recognition of understanding. So you don't need language. Same thing with Dakshinamurti. Dakshinamurti is sitting there. What did the four Manasaputras of Brahma sit there and do? Sanaka, Sananda, Sanat Kumaras. They were just absorbing his knowledge just by sitting there. But we have lost that ability to perceive, and we need words for everything. We need words. So then we'll go and look at a master and say, are you self-realized? அப்படின்னு கேட்போம். Right? We look at somebody who's somebody seems like a spiritual guru or a spiritual master, and we'll feel like wanting to go and ask, are you self-realized? Now, how is that answer going to help you? But this is where we are. We want them to say, yes, I am self-realized. You can follow me. A true guru will never say that. A true teacher, one who wants followers, maybe will say that. But a true guru doesn't want followers. They'll never say that. Because they'll know that they are also, it is like how Ramakrishna Paramahamsa said, a salt doll wanted to go into the ocean to measure the ocean. A salt doll went to the ocean to measure the ocean. What will happen? It will become the ocean. Who's there to measure what? Who is measuring what? So somebody who is a true spiritual person would have understood that. Who am beautiful Kalpaka there, she would know this. Sadashiva Brahmendra ஒரு பாட்டு இருக்கு, சர்வம் பிரம்மமயம்னு. Very beautiful song. Kim pathaniyam, kim apathaniyam, kim bodhavyam, kim abodhavyam, kim vaktavyam, kim avaktavyam அப்படின்னு வரும். So it will say, what is there to teach, what is there not to teach, what is there to sing, what is there not to sing, what is there to say, what is there not to say. Sarvam brahmamayam re re sarvam brahmamayam. You'll say that everything here is Brahman. Now what is there to speak about it? But can I say I will not speak about you? You speak about it also. That is the paradox. But this paradox can only be understood, again, I'm saying only can be understood if you experience some amount of silence within you daily. Sit down in complete silence within you daily. Practice this for a little while. Some of this you will understand that it is paradoxical. And we live that paradox within us. Solnon tono, but solla vendame. You'll want to, but there is something inside, but you'll say, words are going to kill it. Words are going to kill the essence of what I'm experiencing right now. So very beautifully summarized in this, he is an avadhuta. Sadashiva Brahmendra was an avadhuta. So he was completely in that absorbed state. So from that state, he sang it, outpouring on the Sarvam Brahmamayam Rere. He is not chumma writing as a Vedantic text. When he's saying Sarvam Brahmamayam Rere, his experience is that everywhere he is seeing is this consciousness. The supreme consciousness, all pervading. Ishavasyam idam sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat. Anywhere I'm seeing, all that I'm seeing is this Isha. Oh my God. அப்படின்னு ஒரு எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ்ல இஸ் சேயிங் வாட் இஸ் தேர் டு சே he says nothing that but no still I feel like saying it. Then what is there to listen? கேட்டுக்கிறதுக்கு என்ன இருக்கு இதுல? But still I want to listen stories of Bhagavan. What is there to speak? But still I feel like speak. This contradiction, paradox is a beautiful thing. It is not conflict. Understand the difference between conflict that we have in our minds versus this paradox. This paradox is not conflict. This paradox is a very beautiful sense of experience where Dvaita and Advaita are both mingled together. You sometimes feel like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, oh Bhagavan, Krishna, don't merge me into you. He prays to Krishna saying, don't merge me into you, because then I will not be able to taste the rasa of your devotion. Because to taste something, the taster and the object of taste, it has to be separate. So he says, praise, oh Bhagavan, keep that difference so that I can taste. Because if I merge with you, I'll not be able to taste. I'll become one with you. Right? So like that, he says, so the Guru starts saying, Yasya matam tasya matam matam yasya navedasaha avijñatam vijanatam vijñatam avijanatam. Says, one who understands it, he feels, he understands it, he who understands it, who feels, he knows it not. Which means he thinks he understands, he probably doesn't. And the one who understands it not, he probably knows it. Right? And then it is not known to the master scholar, it is known to one who probably admits he does not know. See, this is another thing. We'll close it now. But there's another thing. You will see a lot of avadhutas and a lot of aghoris. Mostly avadhutas. Dattatreya was an avadhuta. He would drive away people. He will drive away. The people coming to him, because what happens is when you show some level of clarity in society, notice this. When you show some level of clarity in society, people will come and ask you 100 things. Because you've shown some clarity of life, living, or you're able to see something with clarity, people will come and ask 100 things. Oh, you seem to know, you seem to be sorted. So how do we do this? How do we do that? How do you do that? How do you do that? How do you get? So there are some people, avadhutas எல்லாம் எனக்கு எதுவும் வேண்டான்றப்பா, அவள்லாம் என்ன பண்ணுவா, they will drive you away. எனக்கு ஒன்றும் தெரியாதுப்பா, நீ போ, நீ அங்க அவள்கிட்ட போயிடு, அந்த குரு அவள் சூப்பர், அவர்கிட்ட போய். So some people do that also. Dattatreya was known as somebody who would carry alcohol, have some dirty looking dogs, he will be in rags. This is how he appears. Because only a true seeker will see Dattatreya through all that and then probably go to him. Otherwise, people from the outside, right? We also want gurus today to look tip top in rags and all that. We'll not feel like going there. Dirty. So he's happy. He'll keep them away. So they may also say, such people may also say that, because they want to நிம்மதியா இருக்கணும். ஏன்னா எனக்கு தெரியும்னு காமிச்சிட்டான்னா, then people will come around and hover around. Oh, குருவே எனக்கு இது எப்படி பண்றது, அப்படி. But nobody, how many people are really interested in spiritual knowledge and understanding? How many of them really want to dwell deeply within them in all of this knowledge and understanding? Very, 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 very few. Swalpameva. Krishna says this, of a million, there's probably one or two people. So some of us are blessed with that opportunity to be able to dwell on it. We should not lose this opportunity. We should be able to cut through to see what is that knowledge that is going to enable me, drive me towards liberation, moksha within me, that true understanding it's going to give me. And then it doesn't matter where the teaching is coming from. Because we have known to pick up that knowledge. Vishishtadvaita had said, Kokkupol irpan. Kokkupol irpan means he knows from the heap of kuppai, he knows the kokku or kodi pol irpan. From that heap of kuppai or rubbish, garbage, it knows how to pick the worm and eat. How is the Vaishnava? Is Uttama Vaishnava is like a kodi polar pan. It will know how to take that worm from that heap of rubbish. Adamadri, we should know how to take that essence, that knowledge, like a Paramahamsa, should be able to pull that knowledge out of what we perceive. And because it is our own development, our own understanding, our own peace, our own joy. We should resolve ourselves to that. So then the Guru continues. We will see that next week. ॐ कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि सदाशिवायेति समर्पयामि जगदम्बिकेति समर्पयामि सद्गुरुनाथायेति समर्पयामि हरि ओं तत्सद्गुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम् हरि ओम्